Hey, today we're gonna do some core. So you need a mat and yourself. Every exercise is gonna be 30 seconds long. The first one, you have two different options. You can either press the floor away and pull the belly button in, kind of press, or if you're feeling strong, you can come up into bear, press, and then lower it down. So we have 30 seconds holding it. If you're coming up into bear, about 3 seconds, holding the press down about 3 seconds. Here we go. And release. So you're pulling up through the belly and then you lift up through the tail. Or you're pressing down and you're engaging your abdominal wall and then you're releasing. So I want you to think pelvic floor. Think about it drawing up and in, like there's a straw there and it's kind of pulling, it's sucking all the way up and in. Next one is bird dog, opposite arm, opposite leg. Keep the pelvis level so there's not a lot of rocking. And flex the foot if you can, push the heel away. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. So I want you to stay as stable as you can. That's going to take a little more work. And slower the better here. Next one, we're going to bring the hand behind the head and we're pulling and pulling to the opposite knee and coming back up. Pulling kind of around and down. So I feel obliques working. So you have to be mindful here because I can do this all day, but I'm not using my abs. If I contract here and pull around, then I feel it a lot. Exhale. We're gonna switch to the other side. Right away, get into it. You might feel it on one side more than the other. Stay strong in the supporting arm. And in the legs, squeeze the legs to the bones. Exhaling as you come across. We're gonna lie down on the belly and we're lifting the arms and the legs if you can. Up, hold for a moment and then back down. Whenever you're ready, go for it. This is too much on the back, just lift the arms or just the legs. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Feel strong, it might look like this. And that's okay, we have 10 more seconds. Maybe you hold it the whole time. We're gonna come into a plank. So come up onto your knees, then if you wanna stretch one leg out and then the other leg, go for that. Notice my back, it's flat. I'm not dipped, I'm not high. I'm staying flat. And then if you wanna saw back and forth, you can. So squeezing everything in. Pulling those abdominals in. Feeling strong. This is too much, you can always go on your knees. We're gonna turn, come to the side, or a side plank of your choice. Maybe you stay here, and if you're able to, you're gonna kick the leg forward and back. This is too easy. You can always have both feet out and do the same thing with the upper leg. I'm gonna keep the knee down. Stay stable in the shoulders. Other side. Get there, get there. 30 seconds is just not enough time. So you feel it in the hip flexor, you feel it in the glutes, and you feel this working because it's staying stable, but you're not leaning to make it work, okay? It's just that leg moving. We're gonna be on our back next, so get prepared. Regular old crunches. Hands behind the head if it feels good. When you crunch up, I want it to be with intention. Kind of pull the abs in and down so they don't dome out. Exhale on top. I don't care if it's a little movement. If it hurts the neck, you can always just pull in the abs, pull in the pelvic floor and work on that as well. Next one, you're gonna draw the knees up and tapping one heel down. Keeping that lower back really flat. You can't see anything under the back because it's pushing down towards the ground. If you want to make it harder, you tap further away, but you want to make sure the abs are not doming. Keep both feet up, and you're going out. If you want to add a little crunch here, come back down and then bring them in, or just do the legs. Make sure there's no doming. Feeling strong in the legs. If you need to bend the knees, feel free to do that. And you don't have to do the upper body if that doesn't feel well with you. We have 9 seconds left. Exhale and tap. And then we're going windshield wiper. So maybe you put your hands out a little further. Maybe you bend the knees. We're going side to side, controlling from the center. If this is too much, bend your knees. Don't go as far. If it's not enough, you go a little further, but at any time you could stop the movement. So you're not letting momentum take over. Both arms, both legs up, opposite arm, opposite leg. Come down and back up. Watch out for the doming. Ooh, I was doming a little bit. So pull it in. If you need to, you bend the knee. Kind of tuck that pelvis under you. Keeping those abs flat. Breathe. The legs come down, the hands behind the head, and we're doing the accordion crunch. So bringing the knees up and the elbows in, and then bringing it back down. So nice and controlled. You can just do the lower body if that feels better, or do just the upper body. But I want you to feel strong and controlled. Awesome. Thanks for joining me. If your neck is bothering you while you're doing some of the core exercises, do not do the ones where the neck hurts. It could be a few different things. It could be a misalignment in the neck. It could be that you're not strong enough in the abdominals. But make sure that you're taking care of yourself. You can still do things that do not involve the neck. If your lower back is hurting, the same thing. Don't do exercises that are hurting another part of the body to try to achieve good core control. We want to make sure that we are working the muscle that is supposed to be working. And you don't have to feel a burn for it to work. A lot of times the burn is just from the lack of circulation in that muscle. If it's really like pumped up and it's not getting as much circulation because it's not relaxing, that's a lot of times when we get the burn. In certain modalities, that works for getting a hormone response, but that's not what we have to get any work done. So make sure that when you're doing your abdominal exercises, you're being really mindful. I know that now that I've been training for a long time and I'm more engaged with my body, I can actually feel these exercises more than I ever did before because I have more of an engagement. I'm getting more of a contraction. You have to dial in for it to be more effective. So just keep that in mind when you're doing anything, but mostly abdominals and core. You want to dial it in so then you can get the most contraction, the most bang for your buck. I will see you tomorrow.